Hey, well, hello to you. You believe in love at first sight. I do. And I just made the move from my crew so I can show the world this what I do. The route to your heart is through my truth. Am I moving too fast? Well, I'm looking for a real love with a real touch. Real cuz. I don't do the artificial things. And love is the real drug. Give me a chance. I can show you life the way that I see it, and I'm sure you like it. Shoes Nike, jeans pricey. The top piece, well, that's all me. Born and bred in the rotten apple. It's just a fun fact, like the top of Snapple. I've been a lover, yeah, I move well. I used to make my money off of weed sales. Now I resell, retail. I'm into textiles and things, e-commerce, digi-files and pains. Getting back in the lab, MIDI sounds and strings. I'm a breath of fresh air when I'm winning, baby. And the truth is, I've been winning lately, counting my blessings. Cause the same time last year wasn't nothing but stressing. I spotted from afar that you needed something. If it ain't my all, I ain't giving nothing. Some say it's a fatal flaw, but my heart, I can't ignore. Marble floors, black Porsches, eating swordfish, that shit costs. But I believe that you worked it, cause you ain't wasting money on them purses. And all I wanna do is spit the verses. So be patient with a nigga, nurses. And you can ride while I ride the beat. And don't mind when I grind the streets. When it's cold, I'ma bring the heat. And the truth is, the only thing we need to speak. If you commit, I'm committed. It's a different lifestyle that I'm living. I'm talking us against the world, baby. But you can bring your girls, baby. They say sharing means caring. And we ain't doing it right if they ain't staring. I'm a parent. And I landed right where I planned it. Granted, all the sacrifices made to date brought me right where I am today. Hey, live it. Don't run from your truth. Live it. Now let's get to this conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to Kill Talk Radio, another source for sex and sexuality. Hosted by Livid the Dreamcatcher, formerly known as Humphrey Bonehard, and special guests. Live from a living area in small big town Connecticut. Don't just do it, kill it. Kill Talk Radio.
I'm ready. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. I'm happy to be here.
Alrighty. Good day, people. Back again with another episode of Sex, Love, and Hip Hop, The Conversation. Today is Saturday, August the 8th, and we've got our full squad back in the building. These two motherfuckers were both lucky enough to have vacations in the last 2 weeks. So hopefully they've come back. Well, Miss Sage didn't have much to say last week. She enjoyed the conversation, but
I was learning.
She was learning, and now we've got
she was listening.
Back. She was listening. And I'm not gonna take shots or name names, but somebody said that she was a deer caught in the headlights. Conversation. I'm not.
I'll take credit for what I said. But I also gave her credit because the feedback she gave at the end of the conversation said she was absolutely listening, and she absolutely was open-minded, and that she was taking it all in.
She was.
But
Thank you very much, sir.
She took the position of the greatest society, and that was my point.
She did.
So don't take me all the way out of context.
No, I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking anything out of context or in a context. I'm just stating factual words. That's all. That's, not taking shots at nobody. So
Okay.
glad to have you.
Double-checking.
Glad to have you back, sir.
Double checking.
Now you have about 58 minutes to redeem yourself, because I'm sure she's gonna come out gunning for you. Now I had to set that up the right way, because now this is gonna be her opportunity to get at you.
So, in talking about redemption, first off, I wasn't on vacation. I was out making money.
Oh, that's
You know
right.
that thing that we do.
Oh yeah, that part.
So that way we can do the things that we like to do until the things that we like to do actually pay the bills.
We understand how that works.
Trying to buy a house today.
Today?
Hey, today. I got to work on it today, tomorrow, and the next day. I'm going to get there.
What day
Today's
better
as
than
good as any other day.
what day better than today, right?
Stacking those bills.
All right, I ain't mad at that. Listen, I can tell you how. Just in case you need to, if you need some extra money, some extra cash, I can tell you how you can get it.
Should I sell Kill Love merchandise?
You can do that too. www.kill-love.com. You can do that, or you can do something even better.
Oh, I can sling?
You can use what you got to get what you want.
Oh, are we going to OnlyFans again?
You can strut your stuff. Onlyfans.com/user. The deuce. I think you can do it. You might be able to get away with like $7.99 a month.
Are you
Not
serious?
$7.99. I don't know. I think I'm like a $4.99 guy.
The top OnlyFans girls are going for like $3.99 to $5.99.
This is true.
You can definitely get $7.99. You're special.
I think I gotta open up with a sale. Once they get there, I'm worth $12.99. But until they get there, I
Selling
got
himself hard here.
You come up real quick on that house. How many bedrooms you want?
Really? Truth be told, like 4,
How many bathrooms?
2.5,
2.5, 4, 2-car garage,
gas stove,
gas stove. That's dangerous. I'm
Real
so scared of
fireplace?
gas
Always
stove.
gas.
Always gas?
Always
I'm
gas.
super scared of that.
Lawrence, you cook so much better on gas than you do on electric.
Who does? Me?
Both of us.
Anybody.
Both of us.
Don't shout out my real name like that.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody don't need to know what we got going on over here. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you can beep that out.
Now that's gonna fuck it up for my OnlyFans. Now they gonna know that I'm bullshit. I ain't being honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole different name on my OnlyFans.
Be livid.
I got mask and all types of shit. I'm about to go all the way in.
Be livid.
Listen.
BHB.
So,
Be you.
how's your week been?
It's been all right.
You look good.
Thank you.
You walked in the building sounding real loud. You know what I'm saying? Like you had something to prove today.
She got on some
Always
bad
got
shoes.
something
You know
to
what I'm saying?
prove.
She got on some bad
You got
shoes.
something
Always
on,
got
you got
something
something
to
on your
prove.
mind.
No.
Always got something to prove. She said, "You heard
Yeah,
that?
you
She
gotta be the
always
best
got
you,
something to
right?
prove. I know that shit, right?
Be the best you.
You are dressed for the topic of discussion today.
Oh, really? You feel that this is a sex worker outfit? Thank
I
you very
mean,
much.
you know what I'm
Damn.
saying? No.
Now he turned it back around, and I'm gonna
No,
be
I'm
coming
just
for
saying.
him.
I'm just saying. Like if I seen you out today in the streets with white pants and high heels, I'm absolutely long flowing hair and shit, I might make a pass and be like, "How much?"
Oh,
Like
that was cold.
no, that's a compliment.
No, it's not to be offered money.
What? So you rather not be offered money?
You can just give me the money.
So
Sage,
they'll
there's something special in that drink.
So-
I just tasted it.
so they'll take the money, but they don't want to be offered the money.
Yes.
How does that work?
You just
That's how it goes down in the USA.
So you
It's like that.
So you
that meme that says, you just want the sugar daddy that, like, you could just text him in the morning, "Good morning, how are you?" And he responds, "Great, here's
you ain't gotta do
$1,500. Have a great day."
I've heard a lot of women over the years say that they wish they could have the sugar daddy. They
sugar.
just got to say hello to, maybe go out and eat with once or twice, and just hit me up. And nowadays, send me a cash app or drop me off some cash or just pay the rent.
So they
I
want-
don't have sex, nothing. Just
they want the sugar without the daddy, or is it?
Yeah.
No, they want the sugar with- they want the daddy without the sugar.
without the sugar.
There you go.
Well, listen, you can't. How do they teach us this as kids in grade school? You know what I'm saying? You can't have everything that you want, right? That's what they say. You gotta.
I think Mom said you can want, but you can't always have.
Okay, you can want what you want, but you can't always have. There's some more sayings we can get
You
to.
can't always get what you want, but if you try hard, you can get what you need. That's from the Rolling
Try
Stones.
hard, you can get what you need.
I heard that one.
These are all quotables that I can absolutely hear 9 out of 10 sex workers saying in conversation with one of their relatives. Just to prove, to try to make themselves feel better. Not even feel better, but just to feel good about themselves. I've done it too. I've done sex work before. Have you done sex work before?
No, I have not.
Have you done sex work before?
You already know the answer to this question, sir.
Please
enlighten
me.
us.
I don't.
Enlighten those of us who don't know.
Look, I have very short-term memory.
Oh,
I have.
You miss it about 10 years of your life.
There's so many things that I want to do in my life. My brain is scattered all over the place. I can barely remember yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for this question. I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't have note, and since my memory is kind of fuzzy at the moment, there's something in that Cavassier. Yes, we're gonna take the fifth.
We're gonna plead the fifth on that question.
We're gonna plead the fifth on the grounds that I will incriminate the person at this table.
Okay, because we live in the United States of America, and you're guilty until proven innocent anyway. So you might as well just.
And sometimes sometimes you're just guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
That too, same thing. So, all right, so he's pleading the fifth on that. I've done sex work before, and I've caught myself in very many conversations explaining to people why it's okay to do sex work.
You know what? Absolutely. You know what? I will say that when you got started, I was in the business. I was throwing parties. I was promoting parties. We talked about recruiting. We talked about building a website. Built the website. We learned some things. I learned a lot of things. I learned things that I use in my current business, just from promoting and building a website and backlinks and things of that nature.
Right.
But that even if you're only building the website, which I did more than that, but even if you're only building it, it's part of the sex work.
Every form of sex work is like sex work in a general sense is a very hands-on occupation.
Pun intended.
Like it is. Like it's very like you have to. It's not as easy as people think it is. A lot of people just think that people are just having sex or they're just looking good. There's a lot more to sex work than just waking up and putting on makeup or looking good or exercising or taking a picture. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Or just having sex.
I agree.
This shit is pretty intense, to be honest.
And I would expand sex work. So I was just having a conversation with somebody recently, and I would today actually, because I knew what the question was.
Yeah.
That I would encompass.
Getting that other question though.
No, I wasn't ready for that.
I was coming for his head. He didn't know that part.
There goes my head.
Yeah.
You hit me in the neck. Yeah. Okay. So, but I would expand it. We talk strippers. That's sex work.
Yeah.
And I say, look, her job is to get you aroused, or his job is to get you aroused. That's sex.
Right.
Dances. I would say. Some maybe some kind of dance. I mean, whether it's sexual in nature. I mean, if it's supposed to arouse you, that's some kind of sex work. Absolutely. I would call sex therapists, whether they're hands on or not.
Hell yeah.
Whether they're just giving you verbal advice, or and we've all given each other, friends and family, verbal advice on sex at some point or another, whether you know what you're talking about or not.
Yeah.
So that is. But if you're getting paid for it or you're getting something in trade, then that is sex work itself.
Right.
And my belief.
Right.
So most people, when they think just sex work, they just thinking porn stars and prostitutes. And it's so much more.
Right. Such a big realm of things.
And even the masseuse who gives you the happy ending.
Even without the happy ending.
Even without the happy ending, you're right.
Erotic massage without.
Yeah. It's considered sex work.
That is sex work.
I'm getting ready to turn it up a notch. I'm going to be at the top of the sex work food chain, and soon enough, because I've told both of you so today. I mean this week, but I'm going to tell everybody else today that in a short period of time, I'm gonna be a certified, state certified,
Oh yeah.
state certified sex educator. I'm gonna be at the top.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We already know you're gonna get it done.
Thank you very much. You know what
I
I'm saying?
feel like you're going to teach the course some things.
That's very true. They're gonna remember me.
They're gonna know your name.
They already remember me. The email that I got from the owner said that the recruiter told her to look out for me. Said that in the email. Said, and she put LOL in a very formal professional email. She put LOL. She goes, "Hey Lawrence, da 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 da." I ain't gonna say her name, but da 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 told me to look out for you. LOL. Thank you for submitting and your interest. Da da da.
Now, please say the crazy part is they said most applicants have a bachelor's or a master's,
Right.
and you just gave them your life experience on paper,
Yep.
and they said, "All right, we'll let you get certified,
Yeah.
let you get your degree."
Yeah. In the intake interview, they were very convinced by me. She felt very strong about, confident about me entering the program and actually taking it serious based on what I told her my experiences were in life and what I wanted to do it for and how I wanted to use the education. And she was like, "I like you." She was like, "I like you." She was like, "So when you do this," she's like, "You know, we normally require some type of degree, you know, to enter the program, but, you know, just submit the application with a short formal essay, you know, telling the owner and stuff, you know, what you want to use it for, what you're doing currently, your past experiences in the industry, that type of stuff." And I did it, man. Knocked that shit out, and now I'm on my way.
You about to be a certified sex worker,
State
certified, state certified.
Sex worker.
sex
Get the
educator.
business cards ready.
Yeah,
Educator.
educator. You're still a sex worker.
Dr. Kill Love is going to be on.
Dr. Kill Love.
On the
Dr.
business
Kill-Love.
card. Dr. Kill Love.
Dr. Kill Love.
The top of the tier, man. I'm ready
But
for
you'll
this
be a
shit.
sex worker.
I'm excited. So
Educating, but
now,
sex worker.
so this is good. So this is a great segue into the question of the day, because this is what I'm going to do moving forward in my life. When I meet people, I'm going to ask them one question: would you date a sex worker? And as soon as they answer, because we already know what the immediate thing is going to be, they're going to think I'm a stripper or a porn star. Then I'm going to go in my pocket. I'm going to go, bam,
Business card.
bam, certified, state certified sex educator.
You know, you could be
And yes, I am a sex worker.
a thirst model on Instagram too. State certified sex educator / thirst model on Instagram.
That's cool, because all of my pictures I'm going to be wearing a doctor's jacket. And by then, I'm going to have a six-pack. My skin's going to be shiny and glowy. I'm going to put some oil on my body. And I'm going to put a doctor's jacket on. And I'm going to teach the world the proper techniques and procedures about sex. Because I feel like I'm good at it. So, my question
Yes, sir.
to the ladies first. Always to the ladies first. Always to the ladies first. Would you date a sex worker?
Well, being the open-minded individual that I am,
Oh,
I'm gonna have
hand
to
claps
say
for
yes.
the open-minded.
I'm gonna say yes.
That's what I'm talking about. So it wouldn't bother you at all.
Now,
Would it depend
I'm-
on what type of sex work that person does?
Well, I think it depends on the person in general. Like, I don't think that you can classify people and say, I'm not going to date anybody who works in that field just because I'm not going to date anybody in that field. Like, that makes no sense. It's the person individual. Like, if you go out on a date with a guy and you really like him and it turns out he's a porn producer, do you like him any less just because he watches porn, like he produces porn? No.
You know those closed-minded people looking at ooh.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
they should listen. That's
Right.
why they're here to
Three
open
people
their
have-
minds and learn.
What
Three,
will my
by now,
parents
three
say?
people have
What will
already
my friends
exited
say?
out of the podcast. They've already walked away.
3? Just?
Already.
What about that 3
They
by
turned
3
it
rule?
off right now.
Already. They're cutting it off.
There's no reason on the show today.
They're
The voice of
already
reason
cutting
is
it
gone
off.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, there should not be a reason that you like that person any less, but we do know that it's kind of common, right? So it wouldn't matter what type of sex work that person does. You think if you like the person, you'd be open-minded enough to continue dealing with them.
Yes.
Yeah, porn star,
I don't think I could keep up with a porn star, but
male stripper.
we could try. Male stripper. See, I feel there's a difference between female and male strippers, and male strippers are more just entertainment for women and not so much like the sexualness that men get out of watching female strippers. Like for most
male
women,
strippers just smack females in the forehead with their penis on stage.
exactly, and it's funny because you're laughing because there's
It's
like
funny.
700 other women in the room, and you're like, yeah, okay.
So you're not
Like,
telling me you didn't notice that there were a few women in the front who were getting extra hot and bothered?
Well, I
said
mean,
it's
there's a
funny.
few women always anywhere
I'm
you go.
just saying.
Like, go to the club, those same women are there.
It's funny.
It is. It's much more like entertainment. Like Magic Mike made it seem very glamorous, but it is not like that. Like,
Jamie
I didn't get
Sage
to watch
likes
Magic
Jamie
Mike
Sage
yet.
likes getting slapped with penis. on the forehead.
nobody wants to be
That's how that goes.
That's
Do
it.
you think anybody puts a Target sign right there?
The girls that volunteer to be on stage.
With lipstick?
Because the girls that
Or
volunteer
eyeliner.
to be on stage are like, please smack me around in front of all these
There are.
women with your penis. There
That's a
are
real thing.
plenty of women in that crowd that, you know.
They do.
But then again, you know what?
They
I've
do.
seen. I'm thinking about the reverse now. When Janet Jackson we used to pull guys on stage and make them melt like little boys.
So, like little boys. That part. Okay, so would you date a male escort?
An escort? So we're dating and I've never met him through the escorting system. Like, I'm not going to date somebody I paid for a date, but I wouldn't pay for somebody in a date in the first
That's
place.
cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
That's cold-blooded.
I'm independent. I don't really need anyone.
No, that's wait.
So this is what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, if I started dating somebody and they came to me and said, by the way, my job is that I'm a male escort, that would be the situation. It wouldn't, like, it's not going to be in a situation where I'm going to meet a man that I paid for a date and then I say, oh, I want to date you.
Oh, yeah, okay. You wouldn't date you wouldn't date someone you paid for their services already.
Right, correct. I also wouldn't probably pay for services, but that's a whole,
Okay. So the answer to you would date a sex worker.
yes.
You're a very kind person. We need more people like you in the world.
Thank you.
What about you, sir?
I agree.
What about me?
Would you date a sex worker?
So when I thought about this, I was gonna say I have in the past, and I keep an open mind, but I necessarily wouldn't go out and look for person. But you know, by the time I sat at this table after giving it some thought, I'm like, you know what? I'm where Miss Sage is. Definitely it's the person. If I found out, all right, it is what it is. I want to make sure I like the person and we're compatible, and I want to make sure that she has an open mind and I have an open mind, and part of me being open is to respect what she does as a profession, if that's her profession, or if that's what she does for fun. So yeah, I wouldn't say that is an eliminating factor for me.
I think it's a different level if you say I only want to date sex workers as opposed to saying
Only want to date them.
it's the individual and it doesn't matter what they do.
Yeah, the question would be then, why?
Like,
Now,
yeah.
and then
that
what's the
gets
answer
into
is
what
where we
you're.
we nervous or not.
Yeah, we need the sex therapist to come in and talk to you then.
If you were dating a sex worker, would you be hesitant to tell your friends and your family and your coworkers about that? Or would you be something that you would just be like you would, just normal?
Flaunt? Well, for starters, for me, it would a couple of things. So one, it depends on the type of sex work. It depends on let's be real.
Okay. So we just went from open-minded to semi-open-minded.
But more than anything, it depends on where she's at with it. Maybe she lives a double life. Maybe whatever her sex work is, that may not be as acceptable to the vast majority of society. Maybe that's her night thing, or that's her weekend thing. This is what I do Monday through Friday. Okay. That's who I am. So it's not on me to out her. It's this is the level. I got to meet her where she's going. So if she only tells certain people, then I'm only going to tell certain people. If I'm concerned that people are going to not respect her, and which would cause more problems, then yeah, I'm gonna limit you. If I know you're a small person or a closed-minded person, then I'm not going to start something. Basically, I'm not going to. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a debate about this. Let's have you hold your nose down or whatever. I'm not gonna go there. Now, let's say if I was introducing you to you and it came up in conversation, yeah, I'd tell you. I may not be like, oh yeah, but then again, honestly, if I was dating somebody who was a doctor, and I may not necessarily say, hey, live it, meet such and such, meet Miss Amy, she's a doctor. It just not gonna flow. Now, if you stub your toe and we're worried whether or not your toe is broken, I was like, hey, Miss Amy is a doctor. Or if hey, I'm looking for new ideas. Like, hey, Miss Amy is a sex worker. She might have some ideas for you.
But at our age, right? Aren't we getting to the point to where, like, one of the first things that people, your peers say or your family says when you tell them that you're dating someone, like, isn't one of the first things they ask is what does that person do for a living?
Yes.
So you would lie?
Not necessarily, no.
But I think it's different between your family and, like, your coworkers. Like, you don't owe your coworkers the same that you owe your family. Like, if this is somebody you're serious about and you're introducing them to your family, you're going to have to accept, and this is their career. Like, that's what it is. There's going to be a stigma around it, and you're going to have to know that some people are going to come like that, but you have to know your family and hope that they love you unconditionally and aren't going to judge you for that.
So you would tell.
I don't owe my family an explanation.
No, well, we don't owe anybody anything. We can be clear on that part. But it's conversation and it's things that happen naturally. So you would tell your mother, Jamie, that you were dating that y'all
a male escort.
That you and me and Johnny go hard. You would tell her.
Maybe she just called him Johnny. Hey, be Johnny.
Exactly. Can't he just be Johnny? Like, Johnny, you don't want to know.
All his friends call him Go Hard. Well, why does he go hard?
I'll show you that. I'll show you he has a W-2 at the end of the year, but let's not classify what it is, Ma.
So it's just like, look at these checks, right? Like, Ma, look at these checks.
And my smile. Am I happy?
Here's what he does. It's legal, and look at these checks.
Right? He's not going to jail for it, and I'm happy. We good.
So that would be a benefit of dating a sex worker, right? The cash or the money. If there was a good sex, they got to be a good sex worker.
Right. Yeah, don't say that because there's a lot of them out there who are not making no money or not making much money.
So why do you think they do it? Well, the ones that are not making money, why do you think they do it? Why would they be sex working?
Life experience just said that it's several reasons. It may be something that happened in their life. They may be trying to make money. It could be they got coerced, and then that just became what they do. Mm-hmm. It's easy, and some people just like the being out, the adventure, the meeting the new people.
I met some hoes, and these hoes
just like to do it.
Just like being hoes.
Mm-hmm. They
do shit for cheap. They don't really, and they're probably doing it for cheap only so that they don't have to say that they're doing it for free. But they do shit for so cheap that you might as well be doing the shit for free. But they just want to be hoes.
And
that's crazy.
And I respect that. If that's what you want to do, if you want to go out and and get some pussy, or you want to go out and get some D, and that's what you want to go out, then that's what it is.
I think that's dangerous. I think the ones that are out here doing sex work and not treating it like work, I think that's pretty dangerous. I think those are the ones that are out here really fucking the game up. And those are the ones that are adding, like, so sex work already has a bad rap.
Absolutely.
We're already looking at it.
Even though it's the oldest profession in the world.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to do it, you need to take it seriously, for one. Because you need people to take you seriously. Two, it's your health we're talking about. This is real life stuff. And three, you got to think about the people, your peers. Like, we all, don't fuck it up for me. You know what I'm saying? Because you out here, like, taking chances just because you to do what? Get a nut? Bust a nut? Or you want to feel special for a minute or two or three?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shit is... I'm about to get emotional. I'm about to get upset.
Speak on it.
I'm about to get upset just thinking about the shit.
Speak on it. Let it out.
Cause motherfucker, I've been fighting for this for so long. I've been fighting to be free in my sexuality and, you know, try to live my life that way for so long, and I done lost so much because of this shit. Because the public perception is that sex work is some bullshit. And people won't even take the time to learn anything about it. It's just what they see. So then when you encounter somebody, like if you go to a strip club, you know, for a fucking corporate party or some shit, a bachelor party, whatever. You don't normally go to the strip club, but now you go for a bachelor party. You know what I'm saying? So you go in there with no real education there's no etiquette. You don't really know the language that people speak. You just in there thinking that, oh, I'm gonna take this $50 in singles out of my pocket. I'm gonna go like this, and then I can get whatever the fuck I want. And then there might be a bitch or two that'll be like, okay, fucking it up for everybody.
You're right.
It's true.
Just took our whole value from up here to like that.
Just that easy.
It's true. And every profession has that issue. It's just with sex work, it's already so stigmatized.
Right.
I can't speak that people like just take those opportunities to point out those things more than anything else.
But then people love it so much. It's like I call sex workers the people that y'all love to hate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
Y'all love it. Y'all love us for real. And you love us so much that you need to hate us. Like, to make yourselves feel better.
You know what? I want to say in terms of love, what you were saying, when in the state of Hawaii, I want to say it was last year, there was a bomb threat that went off, like the bomb siren went off, and Pornhub showed that when they thought the bomb was coming to Hawaii to blow it up, they said they spiked. And then after it found out it was mistaken, like somebody hit the button by accident, the warning button by accident. I'm trying to remember the article, but they said they spiked again.
Ain't that some shit?
They spiked again. People were trying to get that last nut before it was all over, before the nuclear bomb hit Hawaii.
Before the world ends, I need to let my favorite porn star know that I'm thinking about it.
And then when they found out they weren't gonna die, they was like, "Wow, woo, gotta go get some more now."
Ain't that some
they spiked hard. Wow, it's crazy.
I feel bad, and so I can only imagine. The crazy part is I'm a man, and I had to deal with the bullshit. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine what a female sex worker has to deal with.
Well, you think about it. Well, a woman is dealing with it before we even talk about money. And she's already dealing with it. If she likes sex, if she likes to have multiple partners, or if she hooks up with the wrong partner. It only takes one or two to disparage her name, or to drag her through the mud. And maybe she's just having fun, just like we just having fun.
Right.
So now you've added finances to it, and that just puts more on top of her as a sex worker. And truth be told, I heard it said once before, and I don't disagree. And it's like, if I take you out to eat, if I take a woman out to eat, and then she's gonna sleep with me because I took her out to eat, what's the difference between that and me just giving her $100?
Exactly.
Or $300 if I went somewhere nice.
Exactly. Or offering, offering to pay a bill.
Or paying the bill, right?
Yeah.
Because some women are like, hey, can you help me out on this bill? Thank you, and here's my thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit is fucked up.
But you know what? It is also going the reverse. Some people at the table used to be looking for a sugar mama.
See, don't you want the one that you could just text and she's dropping money in your bank account?
But look, I want the sugar and the mama. You know what I'm saying? I don't want one without the other one. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna give me the sugar? I'll take care of you, mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that. I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, if somebody's willing to invest in me as a person, whether it's my mind, my heart, my body, whatever the fuck it is, if you're willing to invest in me, thank you. I can show my appreciation. What the fuck? That turns me on by itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm turned on to you just because you were willing to even believe in me at all. And then you gave me some money too.
Win-win.
Some pocket cash.
You bought me a car or some shit? Okay. You took me on a trip across the fucking 7 countries? Yes, I will eat your pussy. In the bathroom right after you finish using it. You know what I'm saying?
To go across the world?
Just, you know what I mean? Just saying, like, to show my appreciation. The shit can get real. So it's the shit is fucked up, man, how we treat people, man. The shit is sad. I support female sex work. Like, that shit, like, I stand behind that shit. If a female has the courage, in my eyes, the courage and the confidence to jump out and give herself that way in the public eye, even if it's in private, and even if it's in the private sector, because you're still dealing with people, and if you have that strength inside of you, that courage and confidence to do it, come on, man, that shit. So I'm riding. Let's go.
I'm having thoughts, and I just wanted your opinion.
Okay.
To a degree, right? Because there's 2 different kinds of restaurants, and there's one that's popping in my head. But to a degree, do you think some of the Hooters waitresses are sex workers? If they gotta wear the poom poom shorts and the too tight tops, and now they're getting women with smaller cups, but they used to get the busty women. Yeah, they're serving you food, but they're eye candy. Mm-hmm. Right? Isn't that kind of sex work?
Very. I mean,
because folks are going there for Hooters. Right. I mean, people used to say, "Oh, we don't go for the wings." Yeah, the wings are pretty good, but
right, but they're not. I mean, they're not really showing their body off. I mean, they're not seductress in the sense of. I mean, they're just waitresses with tight uniforms. I mean, are you like you might go to Hooters because the girls look good in their uniforms,
right?
But is your dick getting hard? I mean, some might.
No, but I feel like some guys go there intentionally because they know the woman is that the waitress is gonna flirt with him and that he'll go home and use that for his motivation for the day.
And he has to flirt. I mean, she has to
flirt
be
with him.
and she
That's
has to
part
come
of her
overnight.
job, and he doesn't have to pay her extra. Like he just has to leave whatever the tip was. So.
But a good waitress at any restaurant is gonna flirt with you. Even
it's different though when she's dressed seductively.
She's not really dressed seductively though. It's just a halter top. It's just a t-shirt.
I think you just have a high tolerance.
It's a t-shirt and cheerleader shorts.
Yeah, I think you have a high tolerance. Yeah, that's supposed to be seductive.
Is it?
Yes. Oh, facts.
Well, see
now they have the other one with the bottoms, and I just don't know the name of the restaurant. But yeah, it's supposed to be seductive. She's supposed to be beautiful. She's supposed to be cute. She's supposed to make you want to come back and have beers with your friends. And
that's not. I mean, that's.
It's yes and no, but.
But then every marketing is basically we use sex hugely in marketing in order to get products sold. Like
And so if that's the case, you can say a bartender is a sex worker. A female bartenders, even male bartenders, you can say they're sex workers. Really? Not really. Like the female bartender wears a tight shirt or tight yoga pants or whatever. She got a nice shape. She got a nice booty, nice breasts. She flirts. I wouldn't really say she's a sex worker.
I wouldn't really say she was a sex worker either. But the fact that the name of your restaurant is having to do with your breast, it's not chicken breast that they're advertising.
Yeah, but there's a restaurant called Dick's too, and that's not.
No, Dick's is they're being jerks.
Okay, but it's still called Dick's.
But you go there to have the waiter be a jerk to you.
But it's still called Dick's.
I go to.
And
somebody might go to Hooters to see the Hooters.
They put condoms on your head. They put condoms on your head. It's called Dick's. So it can go both ways. And so
Hooters, but Dick's like
a
dick head, like a jerk.
Okay, Hooters means owl. That's Hooters. That's what I mean. It's an owl. Isn't it? It's an owl. That's the play on words.
Yeah, it's the play on words for what?
No, it doesn't matter what it's for.
Okay.
So I can say I'm naming my restaurant Dick's, and so we don't scare people off. We're not gonna say we're naming it Dick's because it's about dicks. We're gonna say we're being dicks, but we're gonna put condoms on their head when they eat.
But it's different than if you smack them in the head with your dick.
Right. So ain't nobody. You're not Hooters. They're not smacking you in the face with their Hooters. They're not putting them in your face, rubbing you, doing that. Hey, eat some chicken wings. No, they just waitresses with tight uniforms on.
All right, so maybe also because I've been to the Hooters waitress of the year where they had to walk down the stage in the poom poom shorts and they strut. Maybe because I've also been to that contest. Maybe
but
it was at the Hooters in Concord in North Carolina. Yeah, it's kind of national contest though.
But it was a contest though. It wasn't the restaurant. It wasn't the restaurant. It wasn't. The contest wasn't at the restaurant. It was at the restaurant. But they
sponsored by the corporation.
Right, but it wasn't like could anybody come in at the time of the contest and just eat? Like, could a family come in and just say we want to eat? We want a table for 5 while they're doing the contest? No. You have to pay. No, you have to pay for the contest. They allot the time. You got to pay to come in. It's the contest.
It was in this room over here.
We're just using our establishment instead of paying for an outside venue to hold a contest. That doesn't mean that we're selling sex. I'm not putting Hooters waitresses in the category of sex workers. Not even a little bit. Because they hire like girls, they hire high school girls.
Do they now hire high school girls? Because they didn't used to.
You don't even have to be 18 to work at Hooters.
I think Hooters never really my thing, but I'm definitely gonna swear it off now. If you're telling me they hiring 17-year-old girls,
nothing. It's just a cheerleader's uniform.
No,
that's all it is.
No,
that's all it is. It's a cheerleader's uniform. All right, so if you were dating someone and they wanted you to do some sex work, would you do it?
I looked at you like, do you want to take this? Because I can let you take it first, or we can throw it back at him. Whatever you want to do. Honestly speaking, it all depends on what the work is and what I'm comfortable. But I got to be in my comfort zone. So I'm willing to come somewhat out of my comfort zone, but it depends on what that work is.
What are your boundaries? Hold on.
He wants to know what my boundaries are. So my boundaries would be established. See, now he's trying to coax me with Tito's, but I'm not taking the bait this week.
What sex work would you not do if your partner asked you to do it?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't have something in my head where I say, you know what? I absolutely would not do this if my partner asked me to, because it also depends on how deep me and my partner run. I probably would be open to most anything depending on my partner.
You're so loving.
I am a loving guy. I'm nice. I'm not an asshole like you tell everybody, except for on the weekends.
So your partner was like, babe, I want to go to Spain, and there's this older woman who's interested in you, and I want to watch you be with her, and she's going to give us $10,000.
Only?
And she's going to pay for our travel. Now you are a prostitute.
I agree. I would be a prostitute.
Do it.
I'm not sure if I would do it, but if I did, I definitely would be a prostitute.
Oh, that's a fact.
For fact.
So
I mean,
you don't know if you would.
I think most people wouldn't classify me as a prostitute because they wouldn't want to classify themselves as a prostitute, but it's definitely prostitution. For sure.
Would you do it? Would you be a prostitute for your man?
No.
Not at all. Would you be a porn star for your man?
No.
Oh, you remember that movie where the guy said, I'll pay you $1 million if you let me sleep with your wife?
Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal. Yes. Yes. She was going to be a prostitute that night.
Oh, big facts.
I mean, she was an expensive prostitute.
She was going to be very happy to be a prostitute.
Or like the girl who sold her virginity for like $500,000 or something like that. Yes, ma'am. You were a prostitute that night. You made lots of money. I'm not knocking you, but you were a prostitute that night.
Facts. So you wouldn't be a prostitute?
I said no.
You wouldn't be a prostitute for your man?
No.
You wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't do any type of sex work for the person she was with.
The person that I'm with, like randomly, no. Like it would be different if like I was with somebody that happened to be in the business and like over time I felt comfortable and wanted to do something in that situation, but not if I felt like I was in a relationship where the person was like pressuring me to do it. Like
if you're struggling financially in your life, right? And your man is like, babe, create OnlyFans. Take some pictures. You know what I'm saying? Let's have sex on film a couple times, post it up, and make people pay us to watch us. Would you do it?
I don't think that's a snap decision. I think that's something that she'd probably have to correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm going to go with what, yep.
When did this become a tag team situation?
When you came for both our necks to start, right?
When you tried to turn us against each other, we came back harder than ever.
Where they do that at?
Well, as I was saying, so that's a conversation, and you guys get to that point. It's not, I'm desperate. You can't channel being desperate in the moment. Right. You may think, all right, because you might think, I won't do this. I won't do this type of work. Currently, I'm not working at McDonald's, but if it came down to it and I had to provide for my family and that's the only thing that I got, then I'm sure the desperate me in the moment will break down and do it. But the not desperate me at the moment says, hell no, fuck no, I'm not going there.
So you would work at McDonald's before you created an OnlyFans account?
I did not say that. I would probably create an OnlyFans. I said if OnlyFans was not available to me, I would create an OnlyFans account before I got to McDonald's. And then Wendy's is on the way to McDonald's. Before I got to Wendy's, I'd probably create an OnlyFans account.
I'm definitely slapping bitches on the forehead with my penis before I go work at McDonald's.
I mean, $6.99 a person versus $6.99 an hour. But the entrepreneur in me would say, that OnlyFans is the better way to go. Way before we even start considering fast food. For me. That's for me. That's not for you out there. That's not for you. That's for me. Now, if you got an open mind, there's going to be some new people on OnlyFans starting next week on it. For sure. Because there's new people on OnlyFans every week. Who's doing live entertainment? Matter of fact, before OnlyFans, like I said, the Instagram models is blowing up. They get a big following, and then they get people to sponsor them. And they weren't doing sexy. They were doing sexy poses. They weren't doing half naked stuff, or maybe not necessarily. They weren't actually doing the sex work, like fondling themselves or anything of that nature. But they were giving off that sexual vibe, which drew in guys to them, which gave them a following, which now allowed them to cash out through other venues if they're smart, and not just attention seeking. Because then a lot of them were just attention seeking. They needed that reinforcement, unfortunately.
No, that's a fact, though. You believe, can a sex worker be a good role model to people?
I'm laughing because I'm laughing, Sage, because and you know what? I'm not gonna show no shame in my game. I'm gonna repeat what I said, because this question was when he was running through some of the questions last night, and it's posed, and I shot it out to First Lady. And it's the weekend. I'm allowed to be the asshole of the weekend. I shout out the first lady, and no disrespect to her. It is what it is. She did what she did. I purposely was turned off, but that's just me. But nah, there's no shame in the game.
But I don't think she's a good role model anyway. So
I think in some respects she is.
Okay.
In some respects she is.
So in general, like, I mean, you think a sex worker? We're not talking about the first lady, but so you think a sex worker could be a good role model? Because there are a lot of people in the world who like absolutely like that. That shit is the devil. Don't like they find out you're a sex worker. They won't they won't listen. It's an immediate decrease in respect. Immediate. They don't give a fuck about how old your experience is in life, what you got. They don't care what you got to say no more. They don't care if you're a parent.
They've turned you off. You tune them out.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you think, Miss Sage, what do you think? You think it's possible for a sex worker to be a good role model in life?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So in general, like, it depends on what they're doing with their life. If you're a confident woman who's confident in your sexuality and you're not doing it because, your insecurities or you're dealing with issues, that's a healthy thing for girls to see. A woman who's confident in her sexuality, who's not ashamed of who she is, who's happy with this, and this is the career she made. So she could be a positive role model to some people, but it's true that most people's first idea is as soon as you put sex worker on the table, their mind goes to a certain place and they're not going to hear anything further about what the person is actually displaying.
Or who the person actually is. You know, as you said, some people will treat sex workers as they're the devil, and there are a lot of them who are God-fearing people in that respect who. This is what I do as a profession. This is, in my personal life, I am very religious. I have my beliefs. What was that quote that we saw online and I shared it with you? And somebody said about premarital sex. That was funny.
Oh, it's not premarital sex if I don't get married.
Yeah, if I don't get married to that person, it's not premarital.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's like, that is really literal.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And that's great to lead us into the last question. That's exactly.
I didn't get to answer the question.
You did answer the question. Oh, okay, go ahead. Finish.
I was just gonna say, absolutely, I believe that a sex worker can be role model, and I believe that some sex workers have made that transition, even if some people kind of look down on them. But there are some porn stars who transverse into acting and modeling, and they're respected in mainstream media. Jenna was one of the people out that originally popped in my head.
Jenna Jameson.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
she's a good sex worker.
And you know what? I don't think I've ever seen any of her work.
She's official. Because there was a short period of time when I used to be like, why do they praise this woman so much? Like, what's the big deal? She's just another good-looking woman. Okay, whatever. Personality is personality. Yeah, everybody's different. But then I watched some of her stuff and I was like, oh, she's different.
That's why.
She's the truth.
She's different. So I was like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So then when you put that there, when you see the work, and then you like, she got a dope personality as well, and she's good looking, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, all right, this chick is dope. She's pretty fucking official when it comes to her type of sex work. She mastered her craft. She did that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Jenna as well. So I agree. I believe that sex workers can be good role models. I'm one. Ding.
And you're pretty all right, or role model.
I'm saying? That part.
I seen you with the kids.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying?
And you can cook pretty decent.
That part. So, last question: is there such thing as a wholesome sex worker?
What?
You don't understand the question? Do I need to?
I think the
feel
question
like you
is
just
weird.
said that.
Or
Like
is that
there's
like-
some people who go to church but still do, what they gotta do as their business.
Right.
There's families that, a member of the household, that's what their career is, but they still have a happy family life.
Okay. So what y'all making faces for? You gotta do is answer the question.
I'm
You
just
gotta
thrown off by the
You
question.
gotta throw acid in your face.
I know,
All you
right?
gotta do
It's
is
just-
answer the question.
It just was weird. I was thrown off by the question. But I 100% agree with Sage. I respect. I would, in her example, I would respect a sex worker who did their work by day and was a good family person. Maybe they were religious at night or whatever, and versus somebody who pretends to be wholesome and they're really what might be perceived as a sexual deviant or sexually adventurous, but they want to condemn those people in the daytime, but at night they are those people.
And just to defend myself, since both of y'all want to try to jump back on me,
Did I jump on him?
I don't see how we did
I don't know
that
what
at
you're talking
all.
about.
I mean,
But
just to defend myself, because
he feels he's wholesome.
it's two different questions. It's two different questions, two different things. Being a role model and being wholesome are two totally different things. So yes, you answered a question about the role models, and in your answer about role models, it could have translated into wholesome, but it's still two different things. So
Yes.
looking at me crazy like I just asked the same fucking question twice.
No, that was not. Look,
that's
no,
not-
no.
It was
wasn't
just
because
the
you asked the question
wholesome,
twice.
like threw us
Yeah.
off. None of us.
Yeah, I don't find sex workers unwholesome.
I remember when it was first presented to me, when one of my mans, my barber at the time, good friend of mine, who he watched me for a couple years, pursue different lanes and try to, achieve my dreams. And he was like, you know what? He's like, man, you keep, dating these type of girls, and you keep, you're disappointed. You're going through all of this emotional stuff because you can't find a girl that's, with the lifestyle that you want to live and all of that stuff. He's like, you know what, man? He's like, you just need a wholesome stripper. He's like, that's what you need. He's like, you need a wholesome stripper. I'm like, what? As he's cutting my hair, I'm like, what? I'm like, you type of dumb shit are you talking about? Ain't no such thing as no wholesome stripper. What does that mean? He was like, one that goes to church and got kids and got a job, but she strips too. I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I want a real stripper. I don't want no fucking wholesome stripper.
So funny enough, I will say, in your exact example, there was a stripper that I liked back in the day, who was like that.
What, a wholesome stripper?
In the way you just described it, she came into the restaurant. It's like I liked her. She was cool. We was cool peoples. When I was hanging out in the clubs and promoting clubs, and we was cool. But one day she came into our family's restaurant on one Sunday. She came in her Sunday dress, and she had her two twin daughters in their Sunday dress. And from then on, yeah, man, it was like, I was like, wow. It's like,
I could do that.
oh, you got a night and a day life, like me. I am this during the day and corporate and professional and and you also got your second life, and it intertwines a little bit, but
you're not just out here popping it on a handstand.
right? No,
You can get dressed up and take you out
peanut
too.
butter and jelly sandwiches with crackers on the weekend.
found out she also sold real estate. She was taking a real estate classes and selling real estate, and she just doing what she needed to do to pay her bills. I mean, in addition, she liked it, but in addition to that, so and me and her became really cool after that. But one thing I will say about it, and I've had that experience with other sex workers that I've known, is because people are so judgmental and fake and phony. Sometimes they'll look you in the face when you see them out in the real world, and they're like, "How are you going to react to me? Are you going to blow my spot? Are you going to expose me?" And I remember her giving me that slight look, and of course I did not, and it wasn't my style. And I just remember being cool from there on out.
So the moral of the story is,
Yes, sir. What's the moral?
The moral of the story is, for the people watching and listening, that most people would date a sex worker.
Yes. They may not tell you they are, but they would.
I think a lot of people would. And you like that most, which to me takes me over 50%. And I don't think 50% of our society is that open-minded. I think more than 50% of our society is too close-minded to get past that initial thing.
Even if they were hiding it, they would date a sex worker.
Yeah, I don't think most people would.
If they would date them?
That they would date a sex worker.
I think most people would, but most people wouldn't date a sex worker in public.
I don't think. All right, I'll say I'll give it a caveat.
If most people could, if they could have a great relationship with a person and keep it to themselves in their home,
yeah,
they would date sex workers.
Then I might make it more likely. And I also think in a younger age or more age where you're just dating people, or maybe you have a boyfriend for a little while, girlfriend for a little while, but it's not supposed to lead somewhere. I think if folks want to lead somewhere, most people will not date a sex worker.
So people, sex workers are not the devil. Okay? Get your motherfucking lives together. Look at us like we're for what we are. Get to know us. Open your motherfucking eyes and your minds. Take a minute or two, the time that you might spend on social media in an hour, to get to know a motherfucker that just might happen to be a sex worker. You just might learn something, and life might become a better place. That's how I feel about it. I'm comfortable. They can suck my dick.
You were comfortable with saying that on the mic, huh?
Yeah.
Mic check.
Mic check. Are we done?
Yeah, can I go get some cereal now?
Are we done? All right, so thank y'all for watching and listening to another episode of Kill Talk Radio, Sex, Love, and Hip Hop, The Conversation. I am Livid the Dream Catcher, and my two co-hosts, the superstar, The Deuce, and Miss Jamie Sage. Thank y'all very much. Get your lives together.
That's it.
Coming from my
You
neck.
look really comfortable there, like you said. I'm comfortable.
He came from my neck comfortable.